still probably not going to make the playoffs, but could. And it's shocking to everybody, but I thought this was a no-brainer. The Islanders fired Patrick Roy, replaced him with Peter DeBoer with 4 games to go, and the Islanders have lost 4 straight games. They, like every team in the Eastern Conference, seemed like they had a good chance of getting in, and they were a great story this season. Really, they're pretty much a bad team that has great goaltending and a great defenseman, and that's been enough for us to be excited about them. We have sang their praises all year, but they've been in a bad way, lost 4 straight games. They've got a 29.6% chance of making the playoffs per Money Puck. So they fire Patrick Roy, replace him with Pete DeBoer, even when chances are they're not going to make the playoffs. They've got 4 games remaining, all at home. Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Carolina. So as we said, they're probably going to miss the playoffs. My reaction to this, which is a shocking thing because it's the second straight week a team with playoff aspirations has fired their coach, and this is at the end of the season. It all sounds
not
very
only
ridiculous.
Playoff aspirations, like actively in a playoff spot when they pulled the trigger.
Were they?
The New York Islanders held that 3rd divisional spot when they pulled the trigger, and the Flyers jumped them yesterday.
That can't be. By points or by point percentage?
By points, at least.
Yeah, they were. I checked yesterday. They were tied for the 9th spot.
I thought they were in yesterday, and then the Flyers took that.
No, because they were
as of April 4th. So
yeah, they had 89 points. And the Flyers had
night,
88 yesterday.
Wait a second.
Yeah, they were third. They were third in the Metro by points percentage and points.
By points and by points percentage?
Yeah.
I'm going to double check this because I don't believe you. And they were not. Yesterday,
maybe not by points percentage.
April
they were
4th.
by points.
As
of April, I'm looking at the standings right now. April 4th, points percentage. They had a 571.
Oh, so the end of the day. I checked the morning of yesterday, April 5th, and they were, and it says now 571 points percentage, which is tied with the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets. Either way, let's say that they were in the let's say that they were 3rd in the Metropolitan. They were still yesterday. They were like 30-something% chance of making the playoffs. All right, so I concede they were in the playoffs by points percentage, whatever. Still probably not going to make the playoffs, but could. And it's shocking to everybody, but I thought this was a no-brainer. The Vegas thing was crazy, but we both agreed with it. We said, why not do it? You're going to need a new coach anyway, and you're getting this guy just for the rest of the season, and you'll figure out what it's going to be. This, no-brainer. Peter DeBoer's a good coach.
Yeah.
You're getting a head start on the offseason where everyone was going to be hiring this guy. And I'll say, this might be the biggest investment, trade deadline included, that any team has made mid-season this season.
Yeah, I think that it ultimately boils down to the Vegas thing was shocking because they pulled a trigger on a good coach and hired a coach that we weren't sure was a better coach, and they made no commitment to him, which is part of the reason why it was a move that we could wrap our head around. It was just you're doing this for this season, whereas the Islanders pulled the trigger on Patrick Roy, who has been okay, fine, good at points, but Pete DeBoer is a really good coach who eventually runs into a wall and then gets fired 3 or 4 years into his tenure. But he's made the Western Conference, he's made the conference finals in 5 of his last 6 seasons coaching behind the bench. Yes, he's coached some really good teams, but he's also a very good coach. And this is an investment. This is Matthew Darche, I would say, pinpointing his guy because he didn't hire Patrick Roy. So that is the easy card to play for Matthew Darche and say, I'm going to throw this guy under the bus and I'm going to hire my guy. And if you were planning on or considering doing that anyway in the offseason, just do it now. See if you can get the train back on the tracks and get a jump on the head coaching market because Pete DeBoer was going to be highly sought after this offseason. He was going to have a number of offers. So why not get that business done now and get your guy?
Yeah, I think that it's yes, Sean.
No, there was I don't know how breaking of news it is, but I did see from I'm gonna forget his name now, from a Utah Mammoth reporter that the Mammoth checked in on DeBoer earlier this year. Then they ultimately righted the ship. They don't know how far it went down, but to your point about how coveted he was, seemingly already was before they even got to the offseason.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'm sure that he was talking to Utah. I'm sure that he was talking to, I'm not sure, but wouldn't surprise me if he was talking to Edmonton. Like, and it's kind of shitty. They talked about it on 32 Thoughts today, the thing of like when teams, because you need to get permission to talk to Peter DeBoer because Stars still own that ass. So when teams go to the Stars and say, hey, can we talk to this guy? Peter DeBoer is like, so you're going to fire a guy and you're not telling him or whatever. Like, that kind of sucks, but you have to go through that process. I'm sure that Peter DeBoer had an idea of what teams would be in the mix. And it seems to me like, unless he got a huge bag or whatever, that he chose the Islanders over other opportunities that may or may not have presented themselves. That's the only part of it that's a little confusing to me, that like he could have waited to see if maybe something else would present itself. And the Islanders, though,
what's a job that jumps off the page to you as being like you want that job?
The only one is Edmonton, and I think that there would be reason enough for him to be like, oh, that would be so stressful. And
that'd be so stressful. And if you fuck it up and Connor McDavid leaves, God forbid.
Yeah, like, and if I don't win with that, then like some of the Pete DeBoer mythology is exaggerated. Like the whole Game 7 thing. So he has a great record in Game 7s, and that's like a big thing that's stapled. Maybe he's never lost in Game 7, possibly.
I believe that still holds true, yeah.
Yeah, but like that, I think balloon has burst because the last two Western Conferences, he's led in the series and didn't even make it to a Game 7.
Yeah.
So like,
well, you can't lose if you don't make it.
Exactly. And we've joked about that at the time, but I think that if he had Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl and didn't win a cup, then I think that his balloon would start to burst a little bit. So this is an easier situation.
Yeah, and like there might be more job security and there's more runway to figure it out, and also their goaltending is better. Like here's the thing, like that's the funniest part of this to me is that Pete DeBoer just took over a team whose biggest strength is goaltending. Yeah. And like the thing that is attached to Pete DeBoer is that you might not want to have that guy as your coach when the best part of your team is goaltending. And I guess like Matthew Schaefer is the best part of the Islanders, but this season they're like the one thing that they're great at on paper is that Ilya Sorokin is nasty. And so like it's just very funny to me that like every time we've discussed Pete DeBoer, the first thing we've jumped to is like, well, what's their goaltending situation? Can he fuck that up?
I mean, this team though, because they've got the goalie, they've definitely got the number one defenseman. If somehow this offseason they can get like a really good, like say first line center, something like that, which
how are you going to do that?
They do not grow on trees, but if any team could, they've got assets. They've kind of got assets coming out of their ears. They could suddenly go from being a team that is fine, but is like make the playoffs, first round chum kind of thing, to you have one of the best centerpieces for a franchise that exists in Matthew Schaefer. You've got a great goaltender.
I honestly also think that they already have a first line center.
Yeah?
Bo Horvat. I'm a Bo Horvat believer.
I'm saying, how old's Bo Horvat?
He's like, well, I don't know. I would guess like 32, 33.
Oh, okay. I was going to guess early 30s. I could be wrong on
31.
That. Okay. So 30.
His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday to Bo Horvat.
Oh, maybe he got
real
his
quick.
wish.
While Horvat is mentioned, I forgot to bring this up on the show. I texted you guys last week when I went to the Sabres Islanders game and I saw someone in an Anthony Beauvillier jersey and the Villiers part was taped over to say Horvat, so the back of the jersey read Bo Horvat. Awesome.
Great behavior.
Great behavior.
Chat saying though, it's like my point is, do they need one more thing to be like one of the, I don't know, if you get like a young, like top six center, you're suddenly talking about having one of the best cores. And I include the coach there in the NHL. Like young cores, like thing that you're building, whatever it may be.
I absolutely believe in what the Islanders are building. I believe in their pipeline, and you can go in different directions with that. You can wait it out and you can let those guys develop, or you can package them to your point and make a big swing.
Robert Thomas, say.
That would rock.
So like that team adds Robert Thomas. And I said the investment thing of where you say like you reward a team when they've overachieved and say like, hey, we believe in you. And the Islanders, I would still say, have overachieved because if you look at their underlying numbers, they suck. And they are like a bad team with cool moments. And that's awesome. It's our kind of thing. This is a crazy investment or not a crazy because I would have done it, but a substantial investment to say with Wah, who I think had 2 more years after this, and you give DeBoer 4 years. That is huge spending to say we're trying to fast track this thing.
And that's like, it's essentially Darsh hitching his wagon to DeBoer, is it not? Because like if it goes poorly, then like that's your guy, and you've kind of wasted 4 important years.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.